QuickBooks Pro Plus Desktop 2022 Budgeted Income Statement Data Input. Get ready, because we bookkeeping pros are moving up the hilltop with QuickBooks Pro Plus Desktop 2022. Here we are in our Get Great Guitars practice file, going through the setup process with the View drop-down, the Open Windows list on the left-hand side, Company drop-down, Home Page in the middle, maximizing that home page to the gray area. Reports drop down. We're going on down to the profit and loss to start out with. Profit and loss standard, that is. Let's do a range change. We're going to say we're picking this up from 010122 to 022822. Customizing that report. Fonts and the numbers. Changing the font size. Bringing it on up to 14. We're going to say okay. Yes, please. And okay. In a prior presentations, we took the trial balance and then exported it to Excel and then modified the trial balance to take a look at the income statement. The income statement starting at this point, the 1,324, which we can compare to the bottom line income statement here for the first 2 months of data that we had. And we're going to use that. We then did use that to construct a budget over the 12-month time period. So now we've got our budget that has been constructed, and now we're going to take this information and put it back into the QuickBooks system. Just note, as well, as we constructed the budget, we kind of assumed that these were the 2 months period prior to January, as if it was like November and December of the prior month, so that we had some data to work with. And then we projected that out for the 12-month time frame, and now we are going to take this information, put it back into the QuickBooks system so that we can have QuickBooks do what it does well, which is to generate reports once the data has been input. So again, notice that this is over and above the normal kind of bookkeeping process. The accounting department isn't really responsible generally for the projections that would be made into the future. That would take the managerial accounting and, possibly finance and whatnot to think about and project into the future. And then once we have that data, of course, we would want to then track it. And that is where the QuickBooks comes back into play as a shining point. So we're going to hit the company drop down, and we're going to go to the planning and budgeting. Planning and budgeting. Set up the budgets, and we're going to have a 2022. We're looking at the profit and loss. So that looks good. So we're going to say next, and it says additional profit and loss budget criteria. Jobs, no. Keeping it there. Create the budget. This option lets you manually enter amounts, or this option will automatically enters the monthly totals from last year for each account in this budget. That would give you like the starting point. If you had a year's worth of data, it can take last year's information and kind of give you that starting point, which of course you would want to adjust from there based on the current conditions. We're going to keep it up top and just create this whole thing from scratch from what we put into the Excel sheet. Let's close the caret on the left-hand side. Here we have our accounts. We've got the same kind of icons here as kind of like Excel, so I can widen the cells with these 3 dots. And so now we got January, February on out to December. And then as we enter this data into these items, it will then populate the total, which they give you up front, which is kind of nice because that'll be the total number that we can compare to. So now we're just going to go back and forth and enter this data into the system. So January, we started with the 1130. So let's go back on over and say we got the 1130. And then we have the items down here. If I go back onto it, I could copy it across, or I can adjust the row amounts. We want to this time adjust the row amounts. And we have here the 1 month currently selected month. So I'm going to take the currently selected month. And then it says I have to increase each remaining monthly amount in this row by this dollar amount or percent. So I could put a dollar or percent here for the increase. I could do the same for a decrease. Decrease each remaining month amount in this row by this dollar or percent, and enable compounding. So what I would like to do is put our percent increase, which in our worksheet was here. We started with a 105%. Which I think here it says we want to increase each remaining by just the 5%. 5%, and you need a percent sign to make sure it's a percent. Otherwise, it'll be a dollar amount. And so it's going to increase by the 5%, and we want to enable the compounding. So that means it's going to compound on itself instead of putting the 1.5%. So I'm going to say, okay. So there we have it. It should total out to the 17,986 if we matched it out here. So we got the total on the right in our format, 17,986. So that looks like it did what we would expect. Let's check that off, making it green. Let's make it green. That means we're done with that one. That one's done. Dishes are done. That one's done. And then we're on the sales item. So sales is our next one. So sales, January was 29,226. So we'll say 29,226. 29,226 was it? And then I'm going to put my cursor back on that, and that one needs to be increasing, we said, by 10%. 10% increase. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my cursor back on it, adjust the row amounts, want to increase the currently selected month by a percent. We're going to make it 10%, 10%, 1, 10, 10%, and then compounding, enable compounding, okay. And that increases a lot. So that's what at the 624,977. I hope that happens next year. Is that what we put here? It is. So 624,966. We're selling a lot of guitars next year. We know we are. So now we're going to go down and we've got the service items. These are going to increase by $1,000 each. So let's go down to the service and we're going to say that one is at the starting 4250 and then it increases by 1,000. 4250. Put my cursor back on it and then adjust it. We're going to increase it by this time a dollar amount. So I'm not going to put a percent. I'm just going to say $1,000 and compound it. And okay. That adds up to 117. We're going to be rich after next year. We're going to be rich. I should have started selling guitars years ago. Let's go ahead and make that green. And then we're going to go down here and say the cost of goods sold was the 22,977. It goes up by 10%, I believe. So we're going to say cost of goods sold is here, 22,977. These other items are items that we didn't utilize, but they're on the income statement. If you're not utilizing, they're on the chart of accounts. You could go to the chart of accounts and remove any accounts that you think are not necessary, cleaning this up, making it a little bit easier. We can then say, I'm going to adjust this one. We're going to copy it. We're going to say it's going to be 10% increase across the board, just like the sales item. Okay. That's at the 491,347. Is that what we have over here? Let's make this greenify 491,347. I believe that is the same or approximately so. And then all the expenses, much of them are just going to be the same all the way across. So 18 on the bank service charges. Bank service charges, where's that? Right there. We're just going to say 18 and then I can just copy it across. Copy. And that's going to be the 216. 216, is that right? Let's make this greenify this one. I got 210. I've got 210 instead of 216. But I think, could that be rounding? Is that a rounding thing? Whatever. It's a budget. It's a budget. Doesn't matter. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Okay, so then we've got the depreciation 1236. 1236 on the depreciation. January 1236. Copy it across. Copy it across comes out to the 14,832. 14,832. Is that what we got here? Pretty darn close. Darn close. It's not just close, it's darn close, which is like a magnitude of 10 times closer than just close. So then this is going to be, then on the insurance we said in February 6,000. 6,000 in February insurance. And then we took a big leap like a frog. We frog leaped out here to September and said this another 6,000 as if it was like a cash basis thing. So that would be 12,000 total, obviously. I can add that one up without even my reliance on Excel. Can do that one right in my head. Right in my head. It's amazing. And next one's going to be the internet 90, which we'll copy across. 90 and not the internet 90. 90 copy across 1080. Is that what we got here? Is that what do we got? What do we got? 1080 as predicted. Miscellaneous at the 75. Miscellaneous 75. Copy it across. Copy across 900. 900. Is that what we have here? 900. Looks good. And then we've got the office supplies are 350. 350. Office supplies 350. Copy it across. Double check on that one. That should come out to 4200. 4200. 4200. Back on over. It does. Then we're at the 486 payroll tax expense. Payroll tax expense is the 486. And then we did something fun. So I'm going to copy this across. And then we did something funny here. We changed it in like, this is July to 535 in July. 535 in July. So I'll go out to July and say 535. And then I'll just copy that across. And that comes out to 6126. 6126. Is that what we have here? A little bit more tricky. 6125. That's pretty close. We can handle the trickiness. And then 6983. I've dealt with tricky stuff for years. 6983. So we're going to say 6983. And we'll copy that across. Same kind of tricky business happening here. Tricky business. Then this is the same month, July 7682. 7682 in July. July 7682. Copy it across. Copy 87990 at the check figure. Checking it out. Double check, por favor. 87990. I think that's the same. I can't remember because I was speaking Spanish. I don't know how. It takes a lot of cognitive resources. So telephone then is at the 385. 385 is going to be down here. 385 on the telephone. We're going to copy that across, giving us a total of the 4620. 4620. We'll copy this across. Copy that. Roger out. Copy Roger out. Greenify it. There it goes. And that's the check figure. 4620. I think that's right. Pretty sure. And then utilities. Utilities are 385. 385 on the utilities. 385. 385. And we'll copy that across. 4620. I'm not even going to check it anymore because I'm like totally confident in myself. And then down here we've got the the interest expense at the 334. 334 internet or interest expense. 334. And that one actually went down. We're going to say it's going to go down by 95%. All right, so that's a little different, little new nuance. A new nuance has happened. So I'm going to say currently selected. We'll make this one decrease by 95%. No, we'll make it decrease by 5% because it's 95% of, so it's going to decrease by 5%. I think that's the same. Enable the compounding. Check it out, 7070. Is that right? Is that right? Let's greenify these two. 7070. Pretty close. I'm okay with that. All right, so then of course we can generate the report. So I'm going to say okay. We're going to say okay. Let's do this. Okay, dokey. And then you can check your numbers over here by going to the reports drop down. We'll look at the reports in more detail next time, but then I can go to the reports drop down just to give a quick check. The budget overview, profit and loss, that's what we want for a month by month shot, month by month, blow by blow, month by month. And then we got our totals. You can kind of check your totals down here. So the 1287 and 1370, January 1287 versus the 1370. Something looks a little different. So if something's different, we could go back in and fix it. So I'm going to try to do a side-by-side thing, but it's making it difficult. It's being stubborn. Stop being stubborn, thing. Okay. So then we've got up top, this should be these three. That's going to be the 34606, 22977. All of this stuff. The other expenses are all down here. So that's going to be bank service charges down to utilities should be the 10. So something's different in here. So we've got the 18. Oh, now the depreciation is right. And then we've got a 0 there, 90, 75, 350, 486, 6983, 3. It's the utilities. I said I was confident in myself and I messed it up. Okay, so the utilities, so I did that on purpose, totally did that on purpose, because then you can go back in there and fix it. And this is how you do that. You go to the company drop down, and then you can go back into the budget anytime you want, setting up the budget, going down to utilities, and we're going to change this to a different number, 634, 634, 634, and then we'll copy that across, and save it. Okay. Now what are we talking about this time? So now we're at the 31037. Looks pretty darn close if you ask me. So the next one's going to be the 32634498 6331 8242, and let's go on this side. Can I do that? Is that going to mess anything up? And then here, this one is 10 240, and then 11, and then 13. I should just check the total, right? That's what I should be doing. This is tedious. But this is all working good. It makes me feel good that they're all working. So that's good. As long as it's 125,966. So everything looks pretty close, because this should be 125,975 about. This minus this. $9. It's a budget. $9. That's like nothing for budget terms. So there it is. So next time we'll analyze those budget reports, which we have this budget overview, and then of course the budget versus actual, which we'll have for those first 2 months worth of data.